Hey, Uturn, Sean here with a quick movie review for you. This time we are reviewing X-Men First Class. For those of you that haven't seen it, it did come out this summer, so many of you might have already stopped by and seen this one, but it just hit the DVD and Blu-ray shelves. And so we just wanted to review it real quick, see what it's about, tell you about it before you waste your time or you enjoy your time enjoying this movie. Alright, X-Men First Class. It is 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's rated PG-13, so for intense sequences of action, some brief nudity, some language, and some sexual content. So beware before you stare at that screen. Alright? And then plot-wise, what happens in X-Men First Class? Well, this is a prequel to all the other X-Men movies. So we begin to learn who is Magneto, who is Dr. X, Professor X, why is there such a rivalry, why are these mutants against mutants in these previous movies? Well, it begins with X-Men First Class, and we learn that these mutants used to be together, used to be united, fighting for themselves, defending themselves as mutants against humans, and then there was a bitter breaking point of revenge and individuality and independence and wanting to stand up for yourself, where Xavier wanted to learn how to integrate mutants into the world rather than divide and separate and conquer. And so you begin to see the root of all of this rivalry and all of this storyline, and it all begins right here. Alright, some of the good of this movie, man, I love superpowers in the X-Men movies. I love to see the creativity that they have, coming up with all these great superpowers of what people can do, and claws coming out, and people drawing metal to them, and all this stuff. You know, they had guys that could shoot laser beams out of their body, and it was just, that was awesome. I did feel that it fell a little flat, though, on some of their creativity. I mean, they had one guy, just big feet, and he could grab onto things. It was like, really? That's all you got? Come on, let's do some more, right? One guy could only scream really loud. I'm like, okay, flying, that's not that cool either. But there were some creative elements that were very good. Lots of action, lots of special effects. I did feel that it fell a little flat, though. There were some look at your shoe moments. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's where you're watching the movie and you gotta look at your shoes because you don't want to watch what's on that screen. Alright, there were a few of those scenes in clubs and bars and different things like that where ladies are wearing almost nothing and they're dancing around and doing that sort of thing. There's some costume choices by this crew that I don't always agree with, and I wouldn't want anybody else to wear. Alright, so just beware when you go and you watch a movie like this. You need to have that clicker ready so you can click through it. Alright? And lastly, what I love about the X-Men movies is there's always that moral of you know, discrimination and segregation, and it's tying into these storylines that humanity has struggled with for so many years, but we're dealing with it in a fictitious way with mutants and humans and all these different things. X-Men is so good at that, and they draw that in, and it's such a modern day parable of needing to accept us despite our differences, and you needing to unconditionally love people despite what they look like on the outside or what differences that we might have between them. But overall, I would give it a rent it, or have somebody else rent it. Don't spend your money, because I don't think X-Men First Class was worth giving up any of that green. Alright? Catch you later, U-turn.